And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the NPSFL. Here today we have the Columbus Marauders versus the Tri-State Shield. I'm Will Ward alongside Adam Dale. Adam, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Will?
I'm great. Earlier this week we had a chance to sit down with Frank Rhodes, president of the Columbus Marauders, to discuss how he likes being a part of this team.
Name is Sergeant Frank Rhodes. I work for Franklin County Sheriff Department, and I play for the Columbus Marauders. So the Marauders been around since 2009. It originally started as a charity football game with the CPD, the fire department, the county, and a suburban fire. We played an annual charity game, which was called the Turkey Bowl during the Thanksgiving. And eventually, as we kept doing that, we got word that there was an actual league with all public safety teams that came together and played in the season. Yes, we're out there being competitive, but at the same time, it's still about camaraderie because we still all got to go to work the next day. So for us, it's that. But then, furthermore, everything that we make during these games all go towards charity. So we're a 501c3 organization, so we do fundraisers throughout the year to raise money for the operational purposes for the team, but then anything else, we roll everything else into charity of our selection. This year we're playing for Get Behind the Badge. That's the charity for fallen officers in Central Ohio. So what they do is they support officers. If an officer gets some type of injury or die in the line of duty, they tend to help out as much as possible. So that's one of the charities we've been partnered with for years. So this year we're going to stick with them. So we travel a lot. So we've traveled to New York City. We've traveled to Florida to play Orlando. We just actually, 3 weeks ago, we were in Dallas, Texas, playing Dallas PD. So, I mean, the memories, the traveling is the best thing about it, the aspect of being with your fellow brothers and things of that nature, traveling. And we was in California, in Anaheim, LA. So it's a lot of travel, but you get to feel like you in college all over again, being with the guys, with 40 plus guys. You know, we can get ourselves into some trouble, but it's a good time. My favorite memory as a police officer, we did a Christmas tree. Actually, it was with the Marauders, and I partnered it with my department. We adopted the family. So what our department does is during Christmas time, they donate a Christmas tree to families. So our department decided who's going to get the family tree. Well, me and the chief did. And I used the Marauders, again, as a platform to say, okay, this is the family we're going to adopt, because we found out that 2 weeks prior, the family just had a house fire and they lost everything, so they were living with a relative. So what we did is we brought them the Christmas tree. We brought cars, and you know, we had the lights and sirens and everything. Probably scared the crap out of the neighborhood. But then we brought all 4 of the kids gifts. We brought the parents. We brought them gift cards. We brought them clothes as well. And the expression of how excited the kids were to know that they just lost everything and they were staying with relatives, but we were bringing all that stuff to them. So we had officers and we had some of the guys from the police department or from the football team actually donating and giving stuff. So we were able to give them bags of clothes, toys, and stuff like that nature. But more or less, the parents were thankful. And they didn't expect that. They knew they were getting a Christmas tree, but that's all they thought they were getting was just a Christmas tree. We were donating one to them, but you know, it turned out to be a lot more for them. So that was pretty much probably one of my best memories as a cop and being a part of the Marauders. We also do adopt a family during December, so we pick a family from local places that give us families of choices. We done partner with churches before to do food drives. We've partnered with Driven, who is head by Roy Hall and Antonio Smith. Antonio Smith actually was one of our coaches, our original coaches, when we first started, him and Roy. Antonio eventually took over, but that was something else we got to do with Driven, with our food drive during Thanksgiving. So it gives, the purpose of it is, and we always say it's football with a purpose, because we're not just playing football just because we're old and still want to live up our glory days, but we're doing it because we're raising money and we're bringing awareness, and we're trying to just bring the community in to see that beyond all of this, we still like to do the same things, have fun, play sports, and, bring something positive to the communities as much as possible.
And we want to thank Sergeant Frank Rhodes for helping us out this week, coming into the Ohio Media School, who is presenting this game, by the way. Ohio Media School presents this game. We are happy to partner with them. They help provide this so we can provide this game to the NPSFL and the community, as well as the Columbus Marauders. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff between the Columbus Marauders and the Tri-State Shields.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
And we're back here on Yamo Media. We're going to have the Shield. It's going to be on offense first, meaning the Marauders are going to come out on offense. It's going to be a pretty interesting game here. It's a nice day, perfect weather for football.
Absolutely. Maybe a little bit on the warm side, but I don't think that's going to slow these men down. Talking to them earlier this week, they said it's going to be full pads, full hit, and I'm really excited to see what we do. We're going to pause real quick for the playing of the national anthem. Once again, everybody, we're excited to have you here on Yamo Media. For those who are not familiar with the NPSFL, both of these teams are made up of first responders. Members from the Marauders, we have the Franklin County Juvenile Detention Center, Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Division of Police. We have United States Army, Military Police, Dayton Police Department, Cincinnati Fire Department. So this isn't just Columbus. We have teams from Columbus, Cincinnati, who come here, and this is a great way, talking to Sergeant Rhodes earlier this week, that they can build camaraderie, helps them stay in shape, gives them something fun. It's football, so they're definitely going to relieve a little stress in this game. I was talking to Tyrone Gordon, 59 years old. He's the backup running back for the Marauders. He's excited. He likes to bring the pain. Number 32, he's down there on the sideline. We see him. He kind of stands out above everybody. What are you looking forward to in this game, Will?
I'm looking forward to these guys. Like you said, relieving some stress. They have a pretty stressful job being firemen, police officers, what may have you. But just an exciting game between just two organizations that's going to bring a lot of excitement to this game. The Marauders coming in at 2-1, and the Tri-State Shield coming in at 2-2. So both of them looking to continue their winning ways, and we're just about ready for kickoff.
Yep, Joshua Crosby on the kickoff. He is from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, number 26. It's a little hard to see the numbers. Looks like number 0 for the Shield.
Crosby is playing not only the kicker, but he's also going to be playing quarterback. Just about ready for kickoff, and there it is. Deep kickoff, back into the end zone, and he's bringing it out. Missed one tackle, has a good lane there. He's going to bring it right back to about the 37-yard line.
Nice return there on the play. Was able to get a few blocks. Some of them may have been in the back if I wasn't mistaken, but either way, gets it out to about the, looks like the 33-yard line is where they'll start their first possession of the game.
And that's the Shield take the field. You got quarterback Ryan DeVan out of Clarkstown Police Department. It's going to be looking to hook up with Nicholas Pistow, number 9. Going to have Jamar Edwards, number 23, from the NYPS the Bridgeport Police Department. And on defense for the Marauders, keep an eye out on that number 91, Lane Neidl.
Yeah, he's a second-year player out of Fayette County Sheriff Department.
And just like that, it's going to be a first incomplete pass. Not afraid of going deep. We see
some good coverage there by number 11, one of the best football names I've ever heard in my life, Anthony Bloodworth. Talk about a football name, Bloodworth. That's what you got right there. He had good tight coverage, was able to knock that ball down.
Yeah, you want to see if they're going to air it out, how long they're going to continue to pick on Bloodworth, but we see it may not happen that long. As they come back out.
I mentioned Lane Lytle, number 91. He's a complete monster in the middle. He controls that line of scrimmage and has a nonstop motor, according to President Rhodes.
Freight Train Lane is what I've given him the name as he drops back. Throwing it that way again, and Bloodworth just couldn't get it right off of the turf.
Ball was just a little high for number 9, Nicholas Pastor out of the New York Police Department. You see here on the replay. Yep. Here it is. You can see here on the replay. Nice drop back. Just a little too high in Bloodworth. Just a little bit too far away to make that interception right there.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. Bloodworth was a little out of the range, but do that again, he's may taking it up back. Quarterback drops back, looking to his left, and off the hands. A little bit too hard for you got it.
It's a nice defensive stand to start off the game by the Marauders, going 3 and out. And looks like they'll be back to receive the punt.
Got number 25, Everett Harding, returning the ball, awaiting the punt return. Snap is off. And it's not a long kick. Not a good kick, but a pretty good bounce, and it's going to land right on the 45-yard line.
It's like 35-yard line. Great starting position for the offense. And some of those offensive players to watch. Wide receiver, you got number 9, Brandon Phoenix. He's a first-year player. He works for the Powell Police Department. He has great hands and incredible speed. Number 25, Everett Harding. He's another first-year player, wide receiver. He works for the Dayton Police Department. Great speed. Currently leads the team in all-purpose yards and touchdowns. Number 6, Derek Acosta. He's a running back. 4th year, he's a military police officer, power back with speed, looks for contact, and likes to hit people.
Likes to hit people.
Well, it technically says likes to dish out a lot of punishment. It's the same thing, right?
Right. Hand off to Acosta. Derek Acosta, the 4th-year player out of the United States Army. Like you said, he's going to be ready for the ground and pound. He's low to the ground. That center of gravity is going to be a big momentum shift. See if he has some speed with that ground and pound.
See, even if it's not a lot of speed, he's still got that way to wear a defense down. So even if he can't break away, by the end of the 4th quarter, he should be able to run through a few tackles. This isn't somebody going to arm tackle. He looks like a man amongst boys out there right now.
Let's bring it up 2nd and 9. Got man in motion. Brandon Phoenix goes in motion. He's going to throw to Phoenix way. Makes one guy miss. And it's going to bring up just about 3rd and about 6.
That was Brandon Phoenix. Again, he is out of the Powell Police Department. Could have been a loss on the play. Made a really nice first move to get past that first defender to pick up about 4 yards on the play.
As Crosby comes back to the line, expect probably something in the area of that first down. Or is it a play action? Got Twins, top and bottom of the screen. Single back. It's going to drop back for a pass. Right in the area of the first down of Curtis Bosch. He's going to pick up the first down.
It was a really nice catch and turn there. Yep, we did get the first down on that one. That was a really nice spot. Came down right on that line.
First down, Marauders.
Here comes the replay. You can see it here. That was number 4 up top. Makes the catch, turns around, gets around number 15. Nicholas Rodriguez out of the Connecticut DOC. That nice little first move to get past him and picked up the first down, the first of the game.
You see the old man, as they've been calling one of Marauders, Teron Gordon has subbed into the game in the backfield, number 32. Have a pretty small wishbone fullback, and they give it to Gordon, who's going to get stuffed in the backfield early.
Mentioned talking to him earlier this week. Man is 59 years old. He loves playing with these young players. He said that even though he may not have the physical gifts, his brain sometimes gets on his players' nerves because he's so smart. You can see here that defensive line comes in, blows up the play, and able to make a tackle for a loss of 1 in the backfield.
Yeah, for New York, or for the Tri-State, keep an eye out on the linebacker, number 44, Brian Malone, out of the Yonkers Police Department, Fire Department. It's going to be a hard-hitting linebacker, they said. It's going to have a nose for the ball. Drops back for a pass, and it's going to be, I think it was intercepted. Referee says yes. It's going back to the Shield.
That was number 6, Sean Kern out of the NYPD. It was a nice aggressive move. You can see it here on the replay. Came in, he was able to grab that ball away from number 25.
Yeah, it was Everett Harding was jockeying for position, but it's all come down to who had the stronger grip of the ball that time, and he was able to pop it out. It's going to bring up first down for the Shield. Each offense has had a chance to get points on the board, and both has come up short on the first possession. Shotgun formation, trips to the top of the screen. Got one-on-one down at the bottom, no safety high. It's going to be a run to the right. He's got space, but it's going to be a tackle by Michael Blake. He's the quarterback of the defense.
It's a nice run by Jamari Edwards. You can see the fake on the run, or the pass, able to get right down through that tackle.
If Blake didn't get there in time, it was going to be, I believe, maybe a touchdown on a one-touch run.
That's what you call a touchdown saving tackle right there.
By any means, you see to just grab the back of the jersey. But you got to do what you got to do to get him down.
Yeah, again, we were talking to Sergeant Rhodes earlier. They said it's full pad, full hit. They love playing this game. It makes them feel young again. It's like, in his words, it's like being back in college, traveling around with the boys.
We got Edwards in the backfield again. He's going to give it to Edwards once again, but this time, nowhere to go as he's going to be hit right when he passes the 40-yard line and bring up second about 9.
Made a nice little move. It was blown up in the backfield. This could have been a loss of yards. He was able to make a nice little move, at least pick up 1 or 2 out of nothing on that play.
And that was Lance Anderson on the tackle out of the Washington Township Fire Department.
Some of the other defensive players to watch, we mentioned Lane Lytle. Number 40, Michael Blake, is a fourth-year player. He's a Franklin County Sheriff Deputy. He's the eyes and the ears of the defense. He is also the quarterback of the defense. And then, as we mentioned, number 2, Frank Rhodes. This is his 10th year playing. He is also from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. He is a heat-seeking missile coming off the edge looking for contact. Granted, he sent me those notes, so he may call himself a missile.
It's going to be a spring pretty much out the backfield. It's going to pick up about 2 yards. That was a weird formation. I haven't seen one like that. It was almost an I formation, but the running back was a little bit deeper in the backfield.
That was a great read on the defense by number 1. That's Eric Pugh out of the Franklin County Juvenile Detention Center. He was able to recognize that fake and get out there and stop the running back. I'm with you. That was a bit of a weird formation, and that's one of those dangerous plays. He's throwing the ball backwards. If they miss that, that could spell some trouble for the Shields.
Looks like the Shield are used to taking chances as they're coming out with trips right to the bottom of the screen. Quarterback's in the shotgun, takes the snap, is looking to his right. It's getting pressure from behind. Throws backwards, and it's picked off by number 42, Lance Anderson, who has room to run. It's going to be stopped. The quarterback throwing back across the field is never a good thing to do, and he cost dearly his team there by Lance Anderson.
That play was set up completely by number 16, Brandon Abshire. He gets some pressure on the quarterback, forces him out to the right side of the pocket. He's able to force a bad throw, make that pick, and the Marauders will take over with good position on the 40-yard line.
So we see both defenses stepping in for their team. That's going to bring the Marauders back out for their second possession. Joshua Crosby lined up in the backfield with Derek Acosta. Twins to the top. It's going to be caught. 27, John Drum, immediately wrapped up by number 31.
We'll take that all day. That was a nice read, able to hit that curl down on the near side of the field. They played him a little soft in coverage, and they made him pay for it.
It's going to bring about 2nd and 5. See how this tempo of this game, with the both offenses making mistakes early, we see how the coaches of both teams want to continue the tempo of this game. If they want to go more of a no-huddle offense, got Twins to the top of the screen. No safe, just one safety high. Man-to-man coverage, it seems like. Another handoff to Acosta. It's going to be hit immediately at the line of scrimmage.
If he could have bounced that out to the right after that cut, that could have been a nice little gain there. But that defensive line was able to recognize it and able to close that hole very quickly. So far, this has been a nice defensive battle. Both defensive lines have been putting some pressure on the quarterback and stopping those running lanes. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams use their strategy to get around strong defensive lines. For the Marauders, two of the players to watch were both defensive linemen. Both, ironically, are sheriff deputies.
See if he can get his receivers involved a little bit more. We have man-to-man coverage, and they're giving a lot of space off of the lines. So look for that first down area. Once again, he's passing and rolling to the right. Just enough space for the first down. It's going to be caught by number 25, Everett Harding. Just enough for the first down.
It was a nice play. We got a little injury there. Looks like number 91, Lane Lytle. It's a nice fake on the play action. Good rollout by Crosby. A really tight ball. Didn't have a lot of room to work with. That was a great catch on the sideline right there to keep his feet in bounds.
And they're just working the chains at this point. He's not trying to look deep. You didn't see him try to look downfield. It was just a basic comeback route, just enough for the first down.
This is the first time the offense has crossed midfield, so this is the most momentum an offense has had so far in this game. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Got twins to the left. 2 running backs in the backfield with Crosby right now.
Wonder if they're keeping both the running backs to help a little bit blocking.
You see the patience of Acosta right there.
That was a nice run. Again, the defensive line was able to get into the backfield, but Acosta was able to get around it and turn what could have been a bad play into something nice.
As long as you get positive yards, you got 3 yards on that one. And then the words of the late, great Woody Hayes, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. As long as you continue to get 3 possessions and get 3 yards each time, 4th down, you come up to the line, you're just 1 yard away. You can potentially get that first down.
Absolutely.
Just 3 yards each and every time.
With the defenses playing the way they are so far, this might be a 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of game. For those watching from New York, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to show a little Buckeye love on this broadcast, so we are based in Columbus.
It's going to be a quarterback keep. Phoenix is going to be in the backfield with the Wildcat. The Shield stuffed it out, bent them backwards a little bit.
It's our first time seeing the Wildcat today. It'll be interesting to see how they use Phoenix. He's got a lot of speed. If he can get in the open, they can get him the ball. He could be dangerous today.
Yeah, this is Brandon Phoenix's first year. He's up with the Powell Police Department. They says he has great hands, but we've seen him once. But they say he also has incredible speed. So look for him in a Wildcat and in different, one of the gadget type of running backs.
He had a hole, but it was filled very quickly by number 52, Tony Starnati, who's from the New Rochelle Police Department.
So 3rd down, and they've brought in number 32, Teron Gordon in, but I would expect for him just to be a pass blocking running back at this point. Look for the screen or potentially got one-on-one coverage up top.
A little bit of a high snap.
Screen caught by Everett and immediately wrapped up by number 15, Nicholas Rodriguez.
A great read by Rodriguez. You can see here on the replay. They got the ball out quickly, but it was read very quickly by that defense. There's nothing happening there on that screen. But it looks like they're coming out to punt, which at the minimum, as long as they can get a good punt off here, will put their defense in a good position. The way this game is going, defense and positioning could be what wins it.
Got Ochovy back to return for the Shield. Quarterback playing punter and kicker. About a 10-yard punt there.
So he shanked that one right off to the right. Look like one of my Dolphs wins.
Well, it's going to bring up 1st down. Looks like the refs are going to mark it really short.
They just keep walking up.
The more they walk,
So the 42, 43-yard line is what it looks like out there. So we mentioned the heat coming off the broadcast. There's a little bit of humidity in the air, too. So it's going to be interesting as this game goes on to see how these players deal with it.
I know that they're all men of law and the fire department, but how much of their physical fitness is actually prepared for football? You know, being a fireman and a policeman, you have the chance to actually stay physically fit. But
it's a different world on that football field.
But of course.
Especially when you have another police department that wants to take your head off. In a nice way, of course. You know, camaraderie and competitive, they all have to go to work the next day as well, like they said this week.
Got Keith Hennon in the backfield with quarterback DeVan in the shotgun. Got trips to the left. He looks that way and comes back to the right. And this time it's going to be snagged in by number 9, Pistow, out of the new NYPD.
That was a great catch by Pistow. Bloodworth was playing a little bit far off of him. You see, it was a great read. Checks his options, sees him open, got a little cushion there, is able to hit him down deep. Again, nice catch, nice extension on that play by Pastor.
If Bloodworth is going to start playing a little bit more man-to-man, getting more physical with him, not letting him release off of that line. You see he's playing probably about 5 to 10 yards already off of the line. And if you're not going to get physical with him within that gap, you're going to allow him to get up the field.
Bad snap.
Bad snap, and he was met at the line immediately by Lance Anderson, who's had an interception already and now has a sack on his line.
Playing a great game so far. Again, benefit of the bad snap there. They were fortunate to catch that ball and get that could have been a very ugly play. You can see it here. Snap is very low. Good read, realizes what's going on, gets it for the sack.
Read and reaction. That's what the linebacker is supposed to do.
So even though the Shields were on the 33-yard line to start this, after that bid pass, they can push them back. I'm not sure how good their field goal kicker is. This could be a big moment for the Marauders. They can keep them out of the end zone, and especially out of field goal range.
Well, you already see special teams is coming and making a big part on the punt game. Now you have players going to got a free play. Jump ball in the end zone.
Oh!
Looked like both of them tripped up there. I thought Pastor was going to be able to come back and get the ball, but it looked like they both tripped there. It's going to be an offsides on the defense.
Very fortunate for Bloodworth and the Marauders right there that Pastor was able to come back and catch that ball. That could have been very ugly. But that'll kind of reset them back. It'll be 2nd and 10. So that'll negate the sack they had a moment ago.
I'm so surprised right now that was not a catch. I mean, it was a little thrown back. It was a little short.
There is a little bit of a wind here, too. Not
Just
much,
a
little
gust.
bit one.
Trust me, it's warm enough up here to where that breeze isn't doing that much of a difference. But you got 2nd and about 10. Twins to the left. Once again, one-on-one coverage.
They're going to love
Might
that
have got him
hard charge.
again. This time it's completed for a first down to number 43, Ochovi.
They hit a nice slant right across the middle there, found a hole in the defense, was able to exploit it.
Shields have to get that middle of the field together. We've seen them starting to pick that part of the field apart.
It was also a really good pass. It was in between two defenders. He put it the only place he could. If he was a little behind or ahead on that ball, that would have been a pick six going the other way.
It's going to bring up first down from about the 23-yard line. Looks like the Wildcats are back in effect. David Ugarte is in the backfield. Is going to take the handoff, and he's going to keep it himself. He has space, and he's going to be able to get stopped right there about the 7-yard line.
I'll have to see on the replay, but it looked like the entire defensive line bit on that fake, and that opened a huge hole. We'll see here. So here's the fake defensive line move to the right, and, yep, there he goes. Right out to the outside. Nice block there on the edge.
Great pickup block.
Gets him down about the 7-yard line. Sets up the first goal to go of the game. Marauders are facing their first deficit of the game if they can't stop them here.
It looks like he was going to have a clear path to the end zone, but it was enough Marauders to get over there right in time. You have Devan, He's going to hand the ball off, and you see the legs churning, getting close for a touchdown. As the referees put his hands up, it's going to be a Shield touchdown.
That was a great effort by the running back to extend that ball. Very dangerous with that ball out in the air. That can get knocked out. We've seen that a lot in the NFL.
Seen the legs churning there by Jamar Edwards out of the Bridgeport Police Department. Got to the goal line and was not going to be stopped.
I'm interested to see how the Marauders should respond to this on offense. Real quick note, the coaching staff for the Marauders are the coaches from Watkins Memorial here in Columbus. So you see the nice hole open up the middle. He's able to chug those legs. Right there, kept his knees up, did not go down. That's a great lift from our camera angle. Was able to get that ball across the line for the score.
And they're lined up to go for two as you have Devan and Edwards still in the backfield. Twins to the left. Devan steps back, look for a slant pass. No flags on the field.
They want one.
Yeah, they look for one, but I think it was pretty good defense. But I want to go back to that touchdown just real quick. You've seen he had contact at the 5-yard line and how he had the momentum and the power to get right inside and get for the Shield first touchdown of the day.
All right, we're going to check it here on the replay one more time. Here, you can see it. Again, the offensive line opens up a big hole. He gets hit at the 5-yard line. Spins out of it to get a couple more and was able to reach across. He was actually benefited from it. Looks like Mountjoy was underneath him, so his knee didn't hit the ground, so he was able to reach out and get that touchdown. But they did not get that 2-point conversion. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays throughout the game.
You can see Coach Tony Lowry down there getting those guys together. And if I'm him right now, I want to see the physicalness come about this team. You know, you're allowing for them to just matriculate downfield real easy right there. They got a couple passes. You release them from the line. You need to get a little bit more physical, or the Shield is going to start taking over in this game. So, like you said before, let's see how this offense comes back in response to the Shield getting their first points of the game.
I really hope through one of the cameras you can hear the PA announcer, who has some interesting names such as Fat Tom Cruise and Fat Forrest Gump out there. It's been interesting to listen to him over here.
I'm not for sure which name goes with which.
I'm not either, but it's interesting to say the least. Gives me a little Brockmeyer vibe.
We have a different size kicker. You don't see this size kicker too often. Usually those kickers are a little small, but let's see what number 83 is going to bring to the table here.
Nice little
kick.
boot.
It's going to be returned. Looking for a place to go. Cuts back. Harden still moving, and it's going to be taken out of bounds. About the 32-yard line. It's going to bring up first down Marauders with 33 seconds left here in the first quarter.
I'm interested to see how they come out. They come out and just get through the first quarter, or if they're able to get something going, they might be able to get a big playoff here. That defense is going to wear down quickly for both these teams. I personally wouldn't mind seeing some more of the Wildcat with that speed out there by Phoenix. That should be a difference maker as this game goes along. These players start to get more tired.
Well, it looks like they're coming out with the empty backfield right now as the quarterback, Crosby, is in the backfield by himself. Got trips to the bottom of the screen.
Watch the screen down low.
Going with a trip to Harden, and here's coming onto the field late is Brandon Miller. It's going to be a single back in the backfield. Thought that looked kind of odd. One man was missing. It's going to be snapped back. He has enough time. Overthrown.
Looks like there was some miscommunication on there between Crosby and Phoenix. Crosby went to cut in, or Phoenix went to cut in, and Crosby went to go for a corner route, it looked like, on the pass.
Miscommunication, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. You already had a guy kind of subbing in late, and then you get miscommunication on the pass.
That was Brandon Miller running onto the field at the very end, number 3, out of the Columbus Division of Police. And he's still lined up back there in the backfield.
Single backs, trips to the bottom of the screen. Look how much space that corner is giving.
Nice play fake.
It's going to be a flag on the play. About a completion of about 5 yards. Let's see what the flag brings.
I think we're going to have a hold on the play. Yep, it is against Marauders. I didn't see what the flag itself was. We'll see if we can see here on the replay.
That may be one of the first flags of this game.
Yeah, it looks like a hold might have been there on the outside. It's hard to tell.
Lengthy discussion, and here comes the referee with the call.
Looks like the flag is being waved off. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 for the Marauders.
About 21 seconds as they have a rolling clock right now.
See if they run a play, if they just let the quarter come to an end here.
Tick, tick, tick.
So they might try and run. See if they try and draw them off sides and get a free play here to end the quarter.
And they're not going to be set up, and that's going to bring it to the end of the first quarter where you have the Tri-State Shield on top over the Columbus Marauders 6-0. And that's going to take us to our first break here on Yamo Media, presented by the Ohio Media School.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
And we're back here on Yamo Media for the second quarter. This game today is dedicated to Officer Stephen Eric Desario. Chief of the police, Stephen Desario, was shot and killed while responding to a report of an armed subject outside of a nursing home on Main Street. As he arrived on the scene, he was notified by a dispatcher that he had the subject in sight. As he made the contact with the subject, he was shot and fatally wounded in front of the nursing home. The subject then went to the nursing home and murdered his girlfriend who worked at the nursing home, and the second employee. The subject was also found deceased inside of the nursing home. Chief Desario had only served on the Kirkville Police Department for 3 weeks. His end of watch was May 12th of 2017.
Of course, all of our thoughts and prayers go out to Officer Desario's family. As we were doing that, there was an interception on the play by the Shields. So the Shields will have the ball. It'll be first down at the 45-yard line, at the Marauders' 45-yard line.
So turnovers is starting to be the name of the game. If defense wins championships, defense is definitely going to win this game if the Shield continue their defensive prowess. It's going to be a shotgun handoff snap to number 23, Jamar Edwards.
It's a nice way to get out there by number 91, Lane Lytle.
Yeah, we had Lytle going out of the game a little bit earlier, but we see his return.
Always happy. We don't want any injuries. It's football. There's going to be bumps and bruises, but we don't want any injuries because they have to go back to work the next day. And they're very important in our lives outside of football. This is a great cause. The charity for today's game, by the way, is Get Behind the Badge. It is a charity that helps families who had police officers who fall in the line of duty, and there's a flag on the play.
It's going to be false start offense. It's going to back them up about 5 yards. It's a plus for the Marauders.
Storming up about 2nd and 12.
I haven't seen either team go too deep downfield. You've seen on the last possession.
Yeah, that one big play.
They had, over the middle. So you got twins to the left and to the right. As the van is in the backfield, he's going to snap back, pump fake, looking for us, going deep, and he has a man open. And right again, number 9 is Pastor.
That was a great catch by Pastor out there. It was good coverage, too, by Bloodworth. That looks like a matchup we're going to be watching all day, Pastor and Bloodworth. Is able to come across and send his arms, did a really good catch on that.
I'm not for sure if you guys at home could hear the defensive coordinator was not happy with the Marauders on that play. Said he was bailing out, didn't get physical enough at the line of scrimmage, and you rely on a free release by Pastor, who has a little bit of size. I mean, it's a good matchup over there between Bloodworth and Pastor, but got first down. He's going to hand it off.
Nice stuff there at the line.
Nowhere for number 23, Jamar Edwards, to go that time.
As Michael Blake was able to come in, fill that gap, and stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up a yard on the play.
We've seen on the last possession how they can hand it to Edwards, and he can keep those legs moving. So look for him down here in the red zone to continue to get the ball, possibly this time out of the flats into a screen. As you see, it's lined up in a shotgun to the right of the quarterback. Either handoff or look for that slant down at the bottom with those twins, number 43.
You see a play action. There it is.
And there it was. right to where I thought he might have been going, number 43. That slant is always a good play on in the red zone.
That's the area that's hit them the most. Both of the big plays have come through the middle for the Marauders. So if they can clamp down that middle, and with it being in the red zone, the Shields do not have nearly as much room to work with. So hopefully the Marauders can keep that down, keep that locked down, as you saw on the replay there.
See the defense of the Marauders trying to get set, trying to figure out where they have to be to stop this. This is a huge play right here on third down, about third and just about 9 yards.
And it was first and goal, so they don't have the option for a first down on this.
And DeVan going to the end zone is going to bring another touchdown. He didn't get him on the last one, but this time it's reeled in by number 43.
He was able to get a little separation from Eric Pugh.
Wanted to go to Ochovi on that slant on the last one, but got him out towards the back of the end zone.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to see it on the replay, but they were able to get some separation. They might have a nice cut in and then cut right back out for a corner route, and Pugh did not see it and was not able to catch up to him.
Here they go for 2 points. See if they hand it off to Edwards here. They do, and Edwards barrels in, and he's going to get stopped just short of the end zone.
Good job making a stop there, and that's a really important play. Looks like we have another look at the – nope, this is the two-point conversion again. You'll see the defensive line crashes down. They had the guard pulling, but wasn't able to get to that block. If number 83 can get to that block, that's a different story. But he just didn't have the speed to clear that linebacker out, and he was able to make the tackle. So Marauders are down 12-0 here the second quarter, 12:05 to play. And the Marauders, what do they have to do to get let back into this game?
They just have to play possession ball, just one play at a time. We've seen how they can hand the ball off already to Kusta, and he can potentially get you a couple of yards, but trust your offense and continue just to get downfield, pick up first downs, maybe take a shot for the end zone. You haven't seen them. You have this speedster in Phoenix, but you haven't really tried to go up top. So they have to do something to get on the board, and it has to be done this possession.
This should be one of those nice plays. Since the Shields got the ball in the first half, they'll get the ball in the second. You have to keep that in mind. If you can do a couple of plays here and take some time off that clock, get 4 or 5 yards of carry, which seems to be what the Marauders like to do, they can bring this game close, and they can score again before the halftime, or at least keep the Shields from scoring before halftime. They have a good chance to get back into this game.
I'm not saying it's do or die, because we've seen in the second half teams come out and play a total different way of how they played in the first. But it's definitely to the point where they have to get something on this possession. If I was Coach Lowry for the Marauders, I want to see my team come out and get something positive, get past midfield. I would say before it's 11:52 left here in the second quarter, I would want to get past midfield before maybe 9 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
No, you want to play high percentage ball. You want to get to the first down line. You want to continue to move down, but play smart. You've seen a couple interceptions here. You don't want to get sloppy and try to rush your way down. But they have to do something to get positive yards here.
They got played good, clean football, eliminate the mistakes. They do what they've done in their 2 victories this season. They can come back in this game.
It's the small things in football that makes a big difference. We've seen Super Bowls won and lost on 1 yard.
You're a Bengals fan. How does that feel to say that right now?
Oh, man, it feels great. But at the same time, it didn't get the victory.
Hey, you were
to
there.
actually see him there was one for the ages.
A flag on the play. Looks like we had a jump off sides by the defense. Wait for the official call. Yep.
It's going to help the Marauders' case here.
Talk about playing smart. We've seen that hard count be used quite a bit today.
And you talking about playing smart, you see who's in the backfield, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, in his own words, 250 pounds of sexiness. And we had a chance to sit down with Mr. Gordon as well as Ryan Illifritz earlier this week. You can find all those videos on the Yamo Media Columbus YouTube page and our Facebook page as well.
Look for the pass right here as you have Gordon in the backfield. Looks like he's going to be a side Acosta. Well, it's not Acosta, it was Miller. It's going to be hand off to Miller. He's going to take it to the outside, get close to that first down line.
I like what they're doing here. They're taking their time. They're coming up to the line. They're seeing the defense. They're not in a rush, just like we were talking about. They're taking their time and looking for the holes. That was great patience on the run there.
And you notice he ran for that sideline, which can also be a way to stop the clock. If he would have got out of bounds, he would have stopped the clock, and it still would have been second and about, well,
See
he's
here,
going to bring up third and about 2.
Gordon fades to the right. Some of the line buys right. That was a great block by the left tackle. He's able to get around to the edge out there and pick up a few yards. They can do this down the field, and again, take some time off the clock. It'll slow down the momentum of the Shields and put the Marauders right back in this game.
Got the beefy backfield with Brandon Miller. He's going to get the ball again. And he's going to be hit hard after picking up the first down.
Nice
really good
stick there.
run by Brandon Miller, but you see he's getting up a little bit slower right there.
See it here on the replay. Gets the ball, nice sweep across, goes around that edge. That was a great seal block on the edge by the left tackle. What broke him out to get him up to the 50-yard line. Marauders got a little momentum going.
Looks like that was number 2, Malik Williams, came up with the hit stick. Someone slow to come up off of the ground. I just want to be one of the Shields players. Going to be number 52.
Tony Scarnati. There's some great names on both these teams.
Right.
I know we've talked a lot about the Marauders, but both players on both these teams, we want to give a special thank you to for everything they do.
Seeing the collision affect both of the players. Brandon
That was a hard
Miller.
hit.
Miller is off to the sideline. So we have a first down.
Hopefully that doesn't derail the momentum of the Marauders.
You see Brandon Phoenix. I seen him in the backfield, it looks like. So it looks like they're going full steam ahead with the speedster in the backfield. Got twins to the bottom of the screen. Maybe a handoff to the right, try to get him out, or maybe a screen to the right. Handoff to the right side. He looks for a cutback lane. Hit in the backfield, but still making his move. You've seen the power besides the speed right there by Mr. Phoenix.
That was a great move and a great cut by Phoenix. That play almost got blown up in the backfield. He had a nice little hole and then stopped and then reversed direction, and that's never a good thing when you see that as a coach. But he was able to make a nice cut and get around the edge to pick up the next first down for the Marauders.
Not only did you see the speed, but you seen the power out of Brandon Phoenix.
Right there, get stopped at the line. Nice cut. They were able to get out of that tackle. Couple more broken tackles.
3 tackles. Boom, boom, boom.
Really nice run there by Phoenix.
Baby beast mode.
I like
Mr.
it.
Phoenix.
Again, this is his first year on the team. He is a police officer for the Powell Police Department.
Phoenix is going to remain in the game and in the backfield. He's going to hand off, and he's going to cut to the right. Not much room to go anywhere as he's met by a host of Shields players. It's going to bring up about 2nd and maybe 9.
It's here. They get the snap. Gets it right up the middle, and the linebackers came up, were able to fill that gap really quickly. The linemen were not able to get up to the second level to make any blocks. Again, that defensive line for the Shields is tying up that offensive line, and that's really hurting the runs up the middle. It seems so far a lot of the successful runs have been those outside runs for the Marauders.
Let's see what Coach Lowry and his offense can muster up here on 2nd and about 10. And Coach Lowry says, wait just a minute. It's going to be timeout Marauders.
And once again, we want to thank all of you for tuning into this game. This is Yamo Media Columbus. We're a new company here in town. We believe in community content as well as media services. And we have a few shows coming up. So for those in Columbus, some of the shows that we have is Down and Distance with Marty Bannister and former Buckeye quarterback Grade Fry. They discuss 4 topics every week. A couple other shows coming up. We have That's Debatable with Will Ward, who is my broadcast partner today, Jeremiah Bays and Ryan Dietrich. We also, for all you Crew fans, we have Wise Men Say, which is starring Ty Fisher, who has been covering the Crew for about 5 to 6 years, as well as Jay Lucas. And then myself and Jeff Wolf host Sporting Nerds Universe. We talked a lot of sports, but we also talked nerd stuff. We talked a lot of Marvel, DC, comic books, and stuff like that. And then a show coming soon, Guaranteed Sports Talk with Garen Veris. Garen is an alumni from Chillicothe High School who played for the 1985 Patriots, went up against one of the greatest teams, if not the greatest team in the history of the National Football League, the Chicago Bears. The Bears. And as a Packers fan, it makes me happy to say that last time they won the Super Bowl as well. So, yeah. So, again, that's Yamo Media. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. We're going to be doing more of these games throughout next season. We would have liked to do more games this year. Unfortunately, the game against Cleveland ended up not happening due to Cleveland not having the numbers to field a team this year. So this is the only one we get, but we're happy to be out here to support the community and support the Marauders and what they stand for.
And we're back. See what the Marauders came out of that timeout. Bring up 2nd and 10. Twins to the bottom. Fake handoff. He's looking, but the receivers don't seem to be paying attention too much. I think was not what you want to see if you was Coach Lowry coming out of that timeout.
That play action did nothing to stop the defensive line. They didn't buy it for one bit. They were able to force pressure. That was a smart play by Crosby to get rid of that ball, as there was nobody open on that. And good sign. Looks like Miller's getting ready to come in. He's walking around over there with his helmet.
Pay attention on this replay here. You're saying that it was good for Crosby to get rid of it, but see if any receivers was even paying attention in order to get the ball here. Looks like it was maybe a design run that just something happened. It was a screen to Phoenix. He was tripped up.
The defensive line.
But you see the receivers, number 4 out there, Curtis Bosch, he never turned around looking for the ball, and it was good, like you said, for Miller to just get rid of the ball. Crosby to get rid of the ball.
One of the things I find interesting is these teams don't get a lot of time to practice. They don't have practice all week, every week, like a lot of football teams do. So you see like that, it looks like there might have been some communication errors. I wonder how much that comes into play into these teams.
I think it's coming into effect just a little bit. I mean, you have some kind of foundation. This isn't your first game, so you have some type of foundation as far as what your plays are, what you stand for, and what you're supposed to be doing. But it's going to bring up about third after a penalty, third and about 15. Trips to the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a screen that's going to be too high over the head to Hardy.
It's going to force a Marauders punt. You can see on the replay here, nice little fake. Just the ball is just way too high to catch this. They had a couple blockers out there. They might have been able to pick up a few yards to at least attempt a field goal, but it's way too far out for a field goal at this point. So this is a very important punt. You got 8 minutes left in the second quarter. If they can pin them deep and that defense can show up, they might be able to get the ball back in good position. But that defense, at least the important thing about this offensive drive was it took a little bit of time, and it gave their defense time to rest up after having those back-to-back series after the interception.
Good punt right there by Crosby.
Nice bounce.
Got a nice roll. It's going to bring it about the 12-yard line.
So the Marauders defense is going to have to stand up right now. If the Shields are able to score before halftime, that could spell a lot of trouble for the Marauders in the second half, especially because the Shields get the ball to start the second half. Actually, I apologize. I think the Marauders get the ball to start the second half.
So I'm looking at this point to see how many players do I see coming off of the field for the Marauders. And you can see clearly that the quarterback, he slams his helmet right there. Joshua Jacobs is not happy with how his offense is going right now. But how many players are actually still on the field? You can see Brandon Phoenix still on the field, about at the safety position. But how many players are coming off? You also see number 25, Everett Harding, still at the cornerback position. And as they look that way, could have been intercepted right there. He went for the tackle instead of going for the interception. Was Michael Blake once again.
Ball was just a little bit behind the receiver on that play.
Like you mentioned before, this is a huge possession for not only the Marauders, but to go into halftime for the Shield.
Should be able to get a good look at it here on the replay.
It's thrown a little bit behind, I believe. It could have been.
Oh, no, that was right on the numbers. He curled around, hit his hands. This ain't the lead, but if it hits your hands, good pressure on that. Could be an interception. Ball was just a little bit too high for like Phoenix out there. No, my apologies. That was Eric Pugh, number 1. So this is an important down, Will, because if they can stop him here and force a punt, they'll pick up some of that momentum that they lost by having that offensive drive sputter. 2, they'll get the ball. And if any indications from the earlier punt with really good field position, and again, if they can score before halftime and get the ball back after halftime, they're right back in this game, if not in the lead.
Right. You see the Marauders have 2 safeties high right now with Pugh and Phoenix.
That's going to help the Marauders right there. It looks like a false start by the left tackle. That was number 68, Michael Ambrosio out of the NYPD.
Moving them back. See if we can get some pressure in on the quarterback here. Potential strip sack. Get you 7 points.
That'd be a really good play for the Marauders. At this point, if you're the Shield, you don't want to make a mistake.
It can cost you dearly here. Either fumble or interception could change the whole momentum of the game here.
It's 3rd and 15. Honestly, I could see a screen or maybe a run up the middle just to give your punter a little bit more room. So at this point, you're punting with very little room in that end zone.
Got to look to number 43 again, Ochovi, who's already got a ball. Quick completion, close to the first down, but just not enough. It's going to be Pastor once again.
Great job by that defense to swarm the ball. They gave him a little cushion. They gave him those first 5 or 6 yards. Then they were able to swarm to it, make the tackle, great tackle, and then the gain shows up to help finish that up and make it 4th down for the Shields. And again, I believe his first punt was maybe 15 yards, so if they get that lucky again, they're going to start this next possession off with great position.
Both quarterbacks, if you notice, are also your punter, so they have to get the offense in control, and they also set the defense up.
Got 2 returners back for the Marauders as well.
Snap is good, and the punt is off. Good kick. It's going to be backing up. It's going to be Phoenix, 1 hop, and he's going to go. The miss of the first tackle. It's going to be hit. It's going to bring up first down about the 43-yard line.
Very fortunate they had a really good punt there. Almost outkicked their coverage, but if Phoenix was able to come up and catch that ball, he had a little bit of room. He could have made some moves, but he let it bounce, and that gave the Shields time to catch up to stop him on a run.
We're about more than halfway through this quarter. 6:49 left in this half. And in the rules of the Madden football game, you go down 21. That's usually the end of the game. But
I've made 1 or 2 comebacks, but I'm pretty good at Madden.
We've seen the comeback happen before, but with no offense from the Marauders right now, they have to do something once again on this possession. It's not dire need right now as you have Phoenix in motion. Jacobs drops back looking for almost through. That's why he's on the line right there. It's number 65.
Hey, as a lineman, I resent that statement. Very, very dangerous pass.
Believe it hit him right in the hands. Either he wasn't ready or he's got leather for hands. Just thrown out a little bit out of the reach of Petray.
It looks like Miller actually fell down on the play, and I think that was a last-ditch effort to try to hold the ball back so it didn't throw into coverage. If you're going to throw it to a DB or a lineman, I'm going to choose a lineman all day.
For sure.
Again, I got mad at you for making that comment, and then I made it myself.
Well, no harm, no foul. 2nd down and 10. They still have Jacobs in the backfield in a shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Miller and throws over to Phoenix, who's going to make one move. Better hold that ball just a little bit closer. Gets enough for 1 yard.
He caught the ball. There was only one blocker, and there were two defenders out on that play. So he almost had nowhere to go. We'll see it here on the replay. I'm not sure if the lineman didn't get out there. So, yeah, there's one blocker. Bosch was not able to get a block in, so it left about three shields waiting for him once he caught that ball.
And he has to have more ball security. You seen the ball. He reached out a little bit to try to get the more yards, but that's very dangerous when you have a lot of Shields player gathering and rallying to the ball.
And it's no secret to what the strategy of this offense has been so far. Get the ball to Phoenix. And the Shields have done a great job shutting him down so far in this game.
Yeah, you have Phoenix and you have Harden. Those seems to be the two go-to guys.
Miller had that nice little run, a couple of nice runs out the outside.
It's going to be a completion to Curtis Bosch. See the strength of Bosch there, but to no avail and no extra yards for the Marauders.
It's going to bring up an interesting decision. You're around the 50-yard line. It's going to bring up a fourth and about 4 yards. You're down by 12.
Well, it looks like Coach Lowry is saying bring on the punt team.
Play it safe.
Play it safe. Don't put too much strain on the defense.
The defense was able to show up in the last series and make a great stand on that 3 and out. Again, they've taken a little time off the clock. That defense, at least the ones who are able to come off the field, were able to get a nice rest on that series.
Late man coming onto the field. It's Mike Deal coming on for the Marauder.
Out of the Lebanon Correctional Institute.
Nice, decent punt there for the Marauders. It's going to land, and it took a one back bounce from about the 30-yard line, depending on where the referee gets a spot. Just about the 30.
If I'm the Shields at this point, I'm going to kind of do what I wanted the Marauders to do. I'm going to come out and try and get 4 to 5 yards of play, some quick slants. They were doing a lot of damage in that first quarter. They seem to not be able to get those connected since then. If they can get some slants across the middle of the field and get another touchdown before halftime, put the Marauders in a very bad spot. So far, Ryan Devan has played a very good game for the Shields. He's got a quick release on his throw.
Well, as he's in the shotgun now, he's going to hand the ball off to number 23, Edwards.
Offensive line got a really nice push on that play, and Edwards came right behind the Hod Mollies, was able to pick up 4 or 5 yards. You see here that the offensive line gets a nice jump on the ball, double down on the center. Great pull by number 63, the left guard. Thomas McBride had a great pull, was able to knock the end, which opened that hole up for the running back.
That's going to bring up about 2nd and 5. 4-13. How conservative do the Shield want to go down the field here as they come out in shotguns again? Twins to both sides of the ball. Look to see if he's going to hook up with Pastore here. And he looks that way. And indeed, that's who he goes to is Pastore, who makes one guy miss, makes 2 guys miss. Is going to end up about at the 41-yard line.
Bloodworth slipped on the play, which opened up Pastore. In that match that we've been talking about all day, Bloodworth and Pastore, you'll see it here. Almost. Pastore was able to get the ball and make a nice cut. And after Bloodworth fell down, it opened up a nice hole for him to get a few extra yards on that play. It's going to bring up 1st and down at about the 42-yard line.
So you hit Pastore, now you're going to come back and you're going to probably hit Ochovi. If you're going to, whether you're going to hand the ball off, it's going to eat up a little bit more time. But as that brings up about 2nd and about 6.
Tit, tit, tit. That's what they want to do right now. They want a good, long drive, drain the rest of this clock down in the first half, go into the halftime with at least an 18-point lead over the Marauders. They'll be sitting really pretty. 4 to 5 yards to play. Got that bid play earlier by Pastore. So far, this is exactly what the Shields wanted to do on this drive.
For sure is what they want to do. And a little bit of razzle-dazzle coming at you your way. You see at the bottom of your screen, you got the quarterback, Devan. So see if they have the Wildcat as they hand the ball. Ball is caught me by surprise.
That was a great stiff arm there. It
David
looks like
Ugarte.
he's shaking up in the backfield as well.
Stiff arming and no movement. I don't know if it's his
See
pride
it
on
here, right here, that stiff arm, boom, right to number 16, Brandon Abshir, who is still down on the play. So that was number 13, Yeso Bedita, out of the New York Police Department with a great run. Let's go ahead and take a real quick break. You're watching the NPSFL on Yamo Media.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
My name is Adam Porter. I'm chairman and CEO of the Lance and Aileen Porter Foundation. The Porter Athletic League was established in 20.
Looks like Abshir is able to come off the field on his own strength. He took a really nasty stiff arm right to the forehead, which you're always worried when it comes to that neck spinal area. So the fact that he was able to get up and walk off with his own strength is a good sign. And he just looks angry at this point. But the shields are going to be set up really nice at about the 24-yard line. 1st and 10.
After the big run from David Ugarte, what do you think the Shield is thinking as they're getting right close to the red zone?
I think it's all about, you got 2:41 left on the clock. You want to take as much time off, not give the Marauders a lot of time. It's right there, run up the middle. Great defensive stop by the Marauders. Swarmed them.
Quick, fast, in a hurry that defense got there to make a 2-yard loss.
And watch the defensive line here come in. The linebackers had pretty much an all-out blitz, blew up that offensive line, gave him absolutely nowhere to go. As a defensive line coach, that's what you love to see.
Great call by the defensive coordinator of the Marauders. Called the right play at the right time, and it paid off. As the clock continues to tick.
As we hear the great tunes of Baby Shark on the PA. Says we have not heard that song enough in our lifetime.
And as drops back, it's going to have Ugarte again, who makes one guy miss. And Brandon Phoenix is going to be on the tackle.
It's a great move by Ugarte. And one thing we're noticing about him is one person is not really bringing him down easy. Nice move there. And I'll use that stiff arm again. But a good tackle there by Phoenix, able to bring him down. If Phoenix doesn't make that tackle, it's 18-0 Shields.
Well, they have to make a big stop here after this timeout.
Make sure you stay tuned for the halftime show. For one, they will be honoring Sergeant DeSario, who, again, we talked about earlier, was killed in the line of duty back in May of 2017. In addition to that, we have the second part of the interview with Sergeant Frank Rhodes that we aired earlier during the pregame, and I had the pleasure of being a part of this interview. And the whole point of the interview was to talk about being on the team, what the team means to him. But we got into a much deeper conversation. We asked him to tell, like people who were considering a career in law enforcement, what advice would you give them? And he mentioned the mentality and the mental draining of what it can be, especially for somebody from the minority community. And it got really emotional. So I encourage you guys to check that out. It was a great story from him. And I encourage everybody to listen to that. Again, that will be airing here at halftime after the ceremony for Officer DeSario.
And we're back with the Shield. Have trips to the right. Quarterback looks to the right. Overthrown as he was in the attention of
A little bit of miscommunication between the receivers. He threw it right in the middle where two of his receivers would be. See if we can get a look at it here on the replay. And one of them go out to the flat and one go out, but he threw it right in the middle between the two of them. This is a big series for the Marauders. If they can stop them here and keep this a two-possession game, that'll mean a lot in that second half.
Still about second and about 10. It's not in goal yet. They can still get a first down without getting a touchdown here.
Yeah, about a foot left between the pylon and that first down marker.
And that foot is going to be huge. Look for Ugarte, as you got one-on-one coverage between him and Harding at the top of the screen. DeVan has a wide open man, but overthrew him.
Good pressure on the play.
Pastor wide open.
John Drum got some great pressure out of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, and see him coming around on the edge up the top of your screen. Comes right around that right tackle. Running back can't get him, so he goes right through him, and he forces the ball to be thrown a little earlier than they would have liked to.
So it's going to be third, and again, about 10. Close enough where you can get a first down. Here you have DeVan at the bottom of the screen again. Ugarte in the backfield alongside Edwards.
Watch a sweep over the left tackle at
I
this
think
point.
you might get a pass out of Ugarte actually on this one. Fake, and he's going to pass. Just out of the reach of Pastor.
Pastor made a nice move to get open, even maybe a little bit of a push-off on Bloodworth right there. It was a great throw, honestly, by Ugarte. So you can see he's a lefty, by the way, throws it. It's a nice little, turns him around a little bit, put it right where he could catch it, but unfortunately that bat shoulder fade was not able to connect on this play.
Yeah, that's a tough type of pass for any quarterback, let alone a running back / receiver.
Right. So that's going to be a timeout taken by the Shields. So that's 1:06 left on the clock, 4th and 15. You think they kick a field goal here, Will, or you think they're going to go for it?
No guts, no glory. We're not playing for field goals today. We're playing for the honor and the pride. You got to think the punts and the special teams haven't been the greatest. I think you serve a better chance of going out to Ugarte or letting those receivers with Pastor.
If the Marauders can make the stop here, as long as they can just keep the ball out of the end zone, that's a win for them. It'll give them the momentum going into halftime. They may be going down 12, but again, they get the ball back in the second half, and they'll be able to regroup at halftime, figure out exactly what they want to do. The defense has played much better after those two touchdowns that were scored earlier in the first half.
I think you potentially could have seen a field goal kick if you were in the center of the field, but with it being on the left hash mark, it's more of a likelihood of that kick not making it. So you're going to have 4th and about 10 here with DeVan rolling out of the pocket, looking across the middle, and no one there. It's going to bring a turnover on downs. You've got about 1 minute for the Marauders.
Looked like he wasn't sure who he was throwing to. There were two receivers in the vicinity, and honestly, no Marauders. That was a very dangerous play. You can see it right there, right above Ugarte, as well as Pastor. He's a little too high for him, so Marauders able to make the stand, keep the Shields out of the end zone, keep this a 12-0 game. And as long as they can get to this get through this first half, down by 12, they'll be in a good spot. But you can't make any mistakes here. Don't come out and maybe just be very careful of where you're throwing the ball.
We got trips to the left here. Look for maybe a screen of Phoenix or just a simple handoff in the backfield. That's what you had was a handoff to Gordon.
Looks like they're just going to run the clock and be happy to get out of here down by 12. See the defensive coordinator heading down to the sideline.
Looks like all the coordinators are taking their headsets off.
Yep.
Starting to make their way to the locker room.
Gore with a nice little run there. Just protect the ball. Give it to the man who's got the brain. According to himself, of course. And it looks like they're just going to finish this half out and go into halftime down 12-0.
Not a bad half for either team. A lot of things they could have corrected, but you have another handoff to Gordon. And that's probably going to be the last play of this half, as we have about 7 seconds left.
All right, we get another look at this play as we go into halftime. Gordon just gets the ball, runs right up the middle as they're running down the time, and that will bring us to halftime.
Stay tuned for the halftime show here on Yamo Media. This is the NPSFL here on Yamo Media.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air Network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
My name is Adam Porter. I'm chairman and CEO of the Lance and Aileen Porter Foundation. The Porter Athletic League was established in 2018. It came about because of issues that I've noticed in the community as it relates to the relationship between the youth of the community and the law enforcement, whether you're talking police, highway patrol, county sheriff, or even fire department. There was no real relationship there. We've done it now for 3 years. We didn't get to do it last year due to COVID. In fact, we just finished up our 2021 season, which was a huge success. We're seeing more support from parents, from law enforcement officials, and the community. Up until the time we got involved, if a law enforcement officer came into the community, 9 times out of 10, the kids would just run away. They would either run away or they would just stick around to see exactly what was going on and who was involved. So we've established a good rapport between the residents and law enforcement. As you witnessed this past weekend at our PAL Championship, Sergeant Smith Hughes came and it was like a hero walked into the building. The kids were excited to see him. They went up to him, shook his hand, talked to him, and they realized he's a regular person. And that's the most important takeaway from what we're doing.
one of the coolest parts of my life is learning from Bob McGilligan, and getting, especially with commentary, getting to learn the little ins and outs and getting to commentate games with him. It was just some of the coolest experiences of my life.
Broadcasting the ASWA shows gave me the opportunity to experience what it's like and gave me the confidence to start my own business and basically do it myself.
I would say some of my favorite moments in Emphasis were the basketball tournament games. They're just such a different environment to high school basketball, especially in the tournament. You know, you're always playing for love of the game, but you love it a little bit more.
My experience in the Sports Emphasis program was something that was essential to me. We got to do live broadcast. We've done it all. We did football, basketball, baseball, and from anything from commentary to behind the scenes to just running the scoreboard. We just did it all. Any kind of value in production you could possibly have, we did it, and that was just so essential to where I'm at now.
Here's part two of President Frank Rhodes' interview with Yamo Media this week.
Make sure that it's something that you can do, not just on the physical aspect, but mentally. This job is very mentally draining. It does have its mental aspects. If you're coming from a minority background, it may be a little bit even more challenging because it's not something that's really a job force that the minority community is pushing for. So one of my things I always tell people, I've been a deputy for 16 years. So my thing I always tell people is that you can't complain about something if you don't want to have a seat at the table. So my thing is, when I decided to become a deputy, it was I wanted a seat at the table, but then I decided to take rank. I've took 2 ranks since I've been with the sheriff department. So now it's more or less, not only do I have a seat at the table, I also have a voice at the table that people want to hear. So with that being said, is if people decide that they want to become into law enforcement, and people always say, oh, I want to change my community, things of that nature, I want to be a symbol. I mean, that's a great idea, but you honestly have to do it for yourself. It's good to say you're going to be a leader for everybody, but it's better off to just know that if you can't do it for yourself, the money, everything else, and be able to deal with the backlash that you may or may not get from your family and friends and loved ones, then it's not something I would recommend to anybody. I was down during the protests and things of that nature, so I got to see firsthand. And you get kind of a torn feeling because you have people telling you that they support you, they're here for you as a black man, but then as a black officer, they're not as supportive. When you have people wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts, but they're calling you racial slurs because they're calling you Uncle Tom because you're wearing a uniform, but it's like, you gotta remember, I'm a black man first. So that was kind of hard, dealing with family members who let the media kind of dictate their thought process when it came to, you know, you're the ops, you're 12, you know, you're not welcome around here. That goes back to the mental thing, being able to mentally deal with things like that. Like I said, I've been a cop for 16 years now. So during that time period of dealing with that, hearing loved ones, and I'm not talking distant cousins, I'm talking siblings, who saying like, you know, you the ops, you know, we can't deal with you, blah, 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 things of that nature, which is crazy because, you know, 5 years ago, a little bit further before Black Lives Matter, of course, I was the one that they were proud of. I'm the one that they, you know, think they were encouraged of. So it was mentally draining. It was almost to the point where I was almost on the fence about walking away. I looked into other opportunities as far as career-wise, but at the end of the day, I had to, again, go back to my purpose of being a cop was. So with that being said, it made me more motivated to say, like, you know what, there is people out here that's ignorant, whether they're family or friends or whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of other people that need people like me, or at least be able to see people like me. One of the things I did is, as a cop, even before Black Lives Matter, was I partnered with the Big Brothers Big Sister and started a program called Bigs in Blue, which is a police officers that mentor kids we used to go to Youngstown Elementary. So you become mentors. So you take them as when they're in the fifth grade, and you stay their mentor all throughout high school. But the purpose of it was to get people who look like them, who may have a different job for us. Because when we introduce ourselves, we don't tell them that we're cops. We let them know they think we're just regular mentors. And then once they get that connection with us, then we say, oh, and by the way, I'm a cop. And they were like, wow, I never even knew I can even be a cop, you know, things like that. And I mean, it's a job that a lot of kids don't know. I mean, like for the sheriff department, you can be a deputy at 18, and a lot of people don't know that. And it's a six-figure job that's well paid, but that's something, again, that's not pushed into our communities as much because it's theoretically not something that our parents grew up on saying that that's a job I want my kid to do. One of my biggest motivations of being a cop was, you know, I was athletic. My brothers, we all were athletic, and our thing was we felt like sports was our only way out. So my thing was, you know, due to injury, I had to show that there's other ways out of here, that the street don't provide you or that a ball don't provide you as well. So my wife, I would say my wife is very supportive. I was on third shift for almost 8 years, working third shift patrol. During the time period of me my wife has never downplayed or said, you know, I want you to stop, I want you to quit, or anything like that. Since I've been on the force up here, I was, just last year, I was involved in a shooting where I got ambushed. My wife still was there supportive. She didn't want me to walk away from a career. We have 2 little kids, so, you know, like she always says, you know, no matter what, just make sure you get home. You got something to fight for no matter what. So like I said, she's been with me since, me and my wife have been together for about 13 years. So for the start of our career, when I was in corrections all the way up to now on patrol, she's always been supportive about me trying new things. And whether it's doing investigations, going undercover or anything like that, you know, she's been a huge supporter in my career. Not so much as in football, but which is crazy because she'll support my career all day long, but when it comes to football, she's like, you know, it's your last year, right? So yeah, I've heard that probably for like last 4 or 5 years. It's my last year, so.
Stay tuned here on Yamo Media for the second half of the Columbus Marauders and the Tri-State Shield.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today. The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Central Crossing High School here for the game between the Columbus Marauders and the Tri-State Shield out of New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and that Tri-State area up northeast. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank Sergeant Frank Rhodes again for coming in this week and talking to us about that interview. We were talking to him about the Marauders team, and that conversation came up naturally, and it was a fantastic interview. Hearing his story, hearing what he's gone through over the last few years, and it was just wanted to thank him again for allowing us to air that and sharing his story with us. So as we get set to start the second half, just a game recap, it is 12-0 in favor of the Tri-State Shields. The Marauders will receive the ball in the second half. So, Will, what do you think the Marauders have to do to come back and get back in this game?
The Marauders have to continue to get the ball in the hands of Brandon Phoenix and just allow him to make plays. They have to be able to stop Ugarte on offense along with Jamar Edwards. Keep those guys out of the end zone. But mainly, I believe the defense is playing pretty good for the Marauders. I think the offense has to really pick it up. So look for more out of Kusta, Phoenix, and the rest of the offense.
Yes, the biggest thing that the Marauders have to do, they've gotten the ball to Phoenix a few times, but a lot of times there hasn't been a great blocking setup for them. So if they can get those screens to Phoenix and get the ball in his hands and get some blocks for him, they can get right back in this game.
Yeah, they're far from out, but they definitely have to do something to get back in, something on the offensive side or something onto the board.
One thing to keep in mind on there are some clouds that are moved in, and we've got a little bit of a breeze coming into this game, so that's interesting to see how that'll affect the ball while it's in the air.
Indeed, this time I do feel the breeze.
As our papers are flying everywhere in the press box. So once again, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in to Yamo Media here on the YouTube channel. You can also find this on yamomedia.com, and we will have the interview with Sergeant Rhodes up, as well as we were able to sit down with Tyrone Gordon and Ryan Illifritz, both members of the Marauders, tell their story about how they became a police officer, or both of them firefighters. Gordon was also a member of the U.S. Army, and once he got out of the Army, decided to join the fire department. He grew up in Pataskala, and he had a great story out there. We are waiting for the chain crew to get started here in the second half. See Ryan Illifritz, number 10, down there on the sideline. He is from the Huber Heights Division of Fire, Jefferson Township as well.
Let the Jeopardy music begin as we wait for the chain crew to return.
And a lot of the people who are helping out today are volunteers who help this organization. As they receive a nice, rousing round of applause for the fans in attendance here today at beautiful Central Crossing High School. This game was originally scheduled to be at Watkins Memorial, but I believe they had their graduation today. So they had to move it down to Central Crossing. Want to thank Central Crossing, the staff here, for making the adjustments quickly and allowing the Marauders to use the field.
And we have the kickoff. It's going to be scooped up out at the 25-yard line. Brandon Phoenix brings it out to about the 40-yard line.
It's a great way to get started in the second half. You can start around the 40-yard line. He had a big hole there at the beginning. but the Shields were able to come in. You can see it here. He gets the ball. He gets it off the bounce. Big hole, but they was able to get close. If they don't make that tackle, that might be a return for a touchdown.
Marauders are going to start off with Teron Gordon in the backfield. Got twins on both sides. That's Jacobs is in the backfield. Crosby is in the backfield. Looking deep.
Oh, that's got to be
pass interference.
Absolutely all over him.
As Everett Harding was bumped.
All over him like a moth on a flame. We'll see it clearly here on the replay.
Looks like that's going to be on Malik Williams.
Yeah, turned around immediately looking for the flag and doesn't have to look hard for it. That's going to set them up with really good field position. It looks like it's a 15-yard penalty, which will put them on the 45-yard line. So luckily, it's not a spot foul in this league. So it's only a 15-yard penalty, because if he didn't grab him, that very well may have been a touchdown. So the Marauders come out in the second half looking to hit bid right off the rip.
As they should. Now they have trips to the bottom of the screen. Immediately looking that way, and Harding thought that might have been a live ball as it's in the backfield.
Just a little bit in front of them, so we were able to hear the ball was intended by Everett Harding out of the Dayton Police Department. See, he throws it right about the 25-yard line. It lands. It would have landed just ahead of it, so that would have been a forward pass. So luckily, it's actually spelled danger for the Marauders.
Once again, no harm, no foul. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Twins to the bottom of the screen.
Look at Harding on the near side of your screen. He's got a lot of room down there.
One-on-one coverage. As Crosby drops back and throws it a little low. Intended for Curtis Bosch. Out of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
You see here, he had him open. He also had Harding, had a lot of room down the bottom, but the way the Shields have been flying to the ball, just throws the ball a little too low. If he had got that higher, that could have been a nice little gain of 6 yards there.
.43 left here in the third quarter. Still a lot of time, but you definitely want to pick up a first down. You don't want to come out your first possession out of halftime and don't cash in anything. It's like some miscommunication once again. It's John Drum try to get in position. Crosby in the backfield alongside Gordon. Crosby drops back looking up top. And the only one that's going to be in position was
Phoenix went for a curl and Crosby went for the deep route. So Phoenix goes out and stops right when Crosby throws it deep. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 10. And this is an interesting decision because you've got to get some momentum. It looks like they're going to punt it, but so after the bid penalty that set up the Marauders in good position, unfortunately they were not able to capitalize on it, and they will give the ball back to the Shields.
Yeah, very good intentions coming out of halftime, taking a big shot downfield, but it quickly went downhill after that.
And here you got Mike Deal running on at the end, right there.
And waiting for a return is Malik Williams.
Great job getting that punt off. Wonderful punt. Wonderful
Great
punt.
fielding
Great
by Everett Harding.
Harding down there to get it. Crosby pins him down at the 1 yard line. That's going to help the defense out tremendously. Able to stop that ball right there at the 2 yard line. That was Harding. Harding's been having a really good game today. He's been playing it live both ways.
Be nice to see some pressure get in there. You got Ryan Elefritz from Huber Heights, Ohio Division of Fire. See if he can get in there and get some pressure on the van. He's probably going to be looking to hand the ball off deep inside of their end zone to Edwards here on 1st down. Right on cue, they hand it off to Edwards, who's going to pick up just about 5 yards, it looks like.
That offensive line opened up a nice hole for them to get those 5 yards, which is exactly what they needed. They needed a little breathing room. See there, a nice pull by the guard. Comes bid number 63, that's Thomas McBride. The nice block on that play, able to open up that hole. Got a little bit of a rain coming down now. Be interesting to see how that affects the game.
As the van steps back and completes the ball, looks like it's going to be close for the first down.
That was an interesting call because he had the ball, but as he was moving, the ball kind of juggled, and they told him down for forward progress.
I think they still gave him enough for the first down.
Yeah, they got him. Oh, he just had it one-handed. That can work too. So yeah, we have the rain has started here in Columbus. Just a light sprinkle for now.
Referees have stopped. May have a potential lightning delay.
I think
here.
I might have just heard thunder.
Raindrops are getting a little bit bigger, and it looks like the referees are bringing the coaches to this midfield.
Definitely hearing some thunder rumbling here. See, some of the crowd has decided to disperse a little bit.
What started off as a beautiful day of football has now turned into a little bit of a soak fest. Still light, but nice big drops falling down right now.
As they sort this out, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. As soon as we find out what's going on, we'll be right back here on Yamo Media Columbus.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
And we're going to play through the rain here. No lightning delay. Referee said we're good to go.
This is some football weather, and this is not a turf field. So we're actually going to see some mud on the field, and that's something you don't get to see too many times these days anymore.
Get all type of what's deemed football weather here. Got this nice sunshine. We had heat. Now we have rain. And for those in New York, welcome to Ohio.
And there are about 4 fans who are still in the bleachers getting more excited as the rain is coming down harder. This just got interesting, folks. It's going to be interesting to see how this affects the game itself. We apologize. We had no idea there was rain coming today, so we were doing our best to film this.
Handoff is going to be see more handoffs and a whole gang of Marauders. Had to get Jamar Edwards down to the ground. I would expect to see a lot more from him with the rain.
Look at the rain coming down. Good job by the defensive line there to get out there and snub that out right off the bat. About 2 yards on the play.
Got Devan in the backfield alongside Edwards. I think that's Ugarda in the backfield is going to take the handoff from the wildcat position. He's going to break a few tackles, pick up a first down. Once again, a host of Marauders is going to take Garter out of bounds, but not after picking up the first down for the Shields.
Nice run there, able to get around the edge. Nice block. It's going to be harder to take these players down now, too, with the rain.
But ball security comes a little bit more prevalent with the rain. So now you got to have those running backs have 4 points of security on that ball. It doesn't take a lot to get a hit and to pop that ball out with the weather becoming a little bit more wet.
I personally want to say thank you to all of our camera operators out there for Yamo braving the elements today.
Ugarda remains in the backfield.
Not a great snap there.
Has enough speed to get around. It's going to be a flag on the play.
And it looks like we have a hold on that play, too.
Like I said, a little bit harder to tackle as we've seen him one slip right off of him.
Decline this penalty in a second. Yeah, yep, right there's the hold on number 42. Lance Anderson got held. So far, this has the weather has benefited the Marauders quite a bit. Make sure the converters are covered too. Let the converters on the camera make sure we have this covered.
What started off as a beautiful game, now you can only wonder what's going to continue to happen in this game, and did you roll your windows up on your vehicle right now?
I'm pretty sure I did. Although the seal on my sunroof is not always the greatest, so I might come into a wet Kia Soul.
We're going to have another handoff.
Great play by the defensive line there. Stuffs him right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain. It's like it's going to bring up about second and probably about 20.
So they did accept the penalty on that first play. So far since the rain, kind of feel a little bit of a momentum shift in this game, Will.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's going to change the dynamics of the game. You've seen all handoffs. You haven't seen any passes from the Shield.
Yeah, we mentioned.
But don't fall asleep on them. You see at the bottom, you have twins to the right. This can potentially be a pass here, but it's going to be a handoff to Edwards.
With the way this rain is coming in sideways with the wind and the water weight to the ball, passing is going to be very difficult. And if this is a game of running, I'm going to hand it to the Marauders at this point. The way their defense has played since those 2 back-to-back touchdowns, their defense has been able to stop the Shield's run almost every single play. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 20.
We had shank punts before the rain.
3rd down. It's 3rd and 20. The down marker was off.
But we had shank punts before the rain started.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what that ball, like you said, the weight of the ball right now and the slipperiness of it, is the punters are be able to get the ball off.
As a player myself back in the day, not sure if you played, Will, but rain is something that you live for. These are the kind of games that you dream of. They talked about camaraderie. That was a pass, I think.
That was a punt.
So it was 4th down. Okay, so the mile mark or the down marker was off again. So that's going to set the Marauders up with great field position. And you hand the ball off to Phoenix. With his speed at this point, if he can get the footing and not let the ground get too slippery for him, he could do some damage. Or Brandon Miller had some great runs around the edge. He's a nice power bat for the Marauders at this point. You got the ball on the 40-yard line. Run it down. This whole game has shifted, Will.
This game is definitely taking a turn for a different type of narrative here. One where we started off by seeing the offense. You have Phoenix in the backfield right now. He's going to keep it, head straight up the gut.
There he is.
And pick up about 8, but the ball made it squirted out. Ball is going to remain with the Marauders.
Hold him down. We did see a strike, a bolt of lightning in the background. You see, there's a nice fake handoff the door, and Phoenix goes right up the middle. Faked our cameraman out as well. Really nice run. The Shields were calling for a fumble, but the referee said he was down immediately. So that shiftiness of Phoenix is going to really come into play right now.
Phoenix is going to remain in the backfield alongside Gordon. Phoenix is going to keep it and head to the left. That water is starting to make it a big effect as he slipped down in the backfield. It's going to bring up about 3rd and about 7 now.
You see it here, the Wildcat, he had a little trouble getting the snap. By the time he recovered, he didn't really have a lot to go as that near side defensive end was able to get through and put the pressure on him. Wildcat, looks like they're running the Wildcat a little bit more right now with that speed of Phoenix and the inability to run. That makes a lot of sense to me, Will.
Yeah, with them not being able to pass the ball, you're probably not going to see Crosby back on the field for a little bit.
They have everybody up to the top of the field. Only 2 people on the left side of the line. In the NFL, that would be an illegal formation.
Once again, Phoenix is going to keep the ball. Stiff arm to no avail. Great tackle on a play by number 31, Raheem Bradshaw.
They're running out of the outside, which worked earlier in the game, but with the wet grass. With the wet grass, I don't know how well his footing is going to be. If it was me, I would be running right up the middle, right up the gut, and try and make him tackle some of my bigger players like Miller and Dorton.
You have Joshua Crosby back inside of the game now. 4th down, expect a punt. See the punters now a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. But it looks like they may be going for it on 4th down.
At this point in the game, snap was a little high. Here comes Crosby.
And great play to get the deflection was number 2, Malik Williams.
So you see here on the replay, he had a man. The man was covered pretty well. You saw him go across the top of the screen. Again, we apologize. It is very hard for our camera ops to deal with this rain. But it's going to set up a 1st and 10 for the Shields with 6:56 left to go in the 3rd quarter. So we would like to thank Ohio Media School for being the presenting sponsor of today's broadcast. Without their support and partnership, the broadcast would not be possible. If you have an interest in a career in media, be sure to check out beonair.com/Columbus and see how the Ohio Media School can help you get started on a new career today.
So you can learn from a pro to be a pro, only at the Ohio Media School, and that's going to bring up about 2nd and probably about 5.
So all they can do right now is run the ball, run the clock as much as they can. Sounds like the rain is letting up just a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a heavy saturated field right now.
Oh, yeah.
Rain definitely made a big difference.
If you look at the track, it's almost covered right now. Hearing a lot of chatter from the players, though. I feel like they're loving this right now.
Oh, for sure. It's about 2nd and about 3. Almost an option. Ugarte escapes, but I think he got
held up there by John Drum, number 27. He was able to hold on to him. He got out of it, but he had done enough of a job to where the rest of the Marauders were able to swarm and get a hold of him. And we are down to exactly 2 fans in the stadium on this side, and kudos to them for braving this weather right now. They are a little soaked.
I would say they're a lot soaked right now.
Lot soaked, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no way any part of your clothing is dry right now. But that's third, about 8. Drops back, and overthrown.
Just out of the reach of his hands. That was a dry ball. That might have been a catch there, Will.
Well, looks like there's a flag on the play. May have the offsides on the defense, which it is.
He had his man. He had one-on-one coverage. It was a really great throw, to be honest. Just a little out of the reach of it. If he had thrown that a little shorter, that could have been easily intercepted.
It's going to bring up after the penalty, 3rd and about 4, as the Shield come back to the line. DeVan and Edwards in the backfield. Edwards to the left of DeVan. DeVan steps back. Good defense there by Everett Harding to break up the pass.
Just a programming note at this point, our 2 cameras on the side have lost power, so we are unfortunately not able to show any replays. We'll do the best that we can to describe the action. If they do come back, we will happily show replays. And here comes the rain harder a little bit more.
Right in time for a punt.
To the loud cheers of the fans.
Punter is back. It's ready. Harding is back to receive the punt. Snap is good. And about a 10-yard punt. Takes a Shield bounce. It's going to bring up first and 10 from the 45.
At this point, I'm bringing in Miller. I'm bringing in Gordon. I'm saying I'm running down your throat. Try and stop me. You got the wind to your back at this point with the way the rain is blowing.
It is officially in a monsoon out.
We are in monsoon in Ohio season.
I don't know when the last time I've seen it rain this hard, but like you said already, thank you to the cameraman that's braving this, and thank you that we are here on this side of the rain. But first down for the Marauders. They step back for a pass, and just a little bit high out of the reach of Curtis Bosch. To our surprise, we had Joshua Crosby step back for a pass. Maybe was going to try to catch the defense off guard too, as you would expect for just a run with the rain coming down so hard. But go ahead and see what you can get. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Trips to the right. One in the backfield is Gordon alongside Crosby. Hand off to Gordon.
There he
He's
is.
going to pick up a couple of yards there.
230 pounds of sexiness coming right down with wet sexiness even. I apologize to any children who are watching this game. I'm just saying what he told himself.
It's going to bring up about 3rd and about 6.
In the public address, playing a wonderful song choice with Here Comes the Rain. Nice job over there.
I think the rain has arrived officially.
Yes.
And there's the scoreboard.
And the scoreboard has powered down here at the stadium.
Rain's coming down a little bit more. Phoenix in motion. Looking for Harding as he slipped down. Yeah, Crosby looking in a direction, but the footing of Harding just couldn't hang up with the rain. going to bring up 4th down, about 3:44. Referees are now in control of the clock on the field. We have our clock here on the broadcast still to see how much they line up. It's 4th down, about 5. Looks like the Marauders are going to stay on the field and attempt the 4th down. As you have Crosby drops back. Ball up in the air. It's going to be intercepted.
Essentially a nice little punt.
Picked off by Malik Williams. Yeah, I would definitely say that probably was better than what a punt could have been.
Would have been a much better play to just knock that ball down. He lost about 25 yards in that play.
Indeed. Smart right there, Mr. Dale.
Yeah, I have a couple moments. We are working to get the scoreboard updated. We are currently trying to stop the rain from coming into our production booth. This is one of the first outdoor broadcasts of Yamo Media, so of course we had to deal with all the weather today.
Improvising on the fly. Believe we're doing a great job, production staff.
Yeah, some of the camera operators are actually members from Ohio Media Store picking up some internship hours, so this is definitely some real-world experience for them.
Hake handoff looks like did drag the quarterback a little bit. Was number 23.
Oh, we got another look at it here on the replay. Looks like we got replays back. Comes right up the middle. Yeah, was able to get through that hole and get a few yards on that play.
Jamar Edwards showing his strength once again as he picks up about 6 yards on the 1st down run. It's going to bring up 2nd about 4. As the Shield returned to the line of scrimmage, DeVan in the backfield with Edwards twins to both sides. As he hands off to Edwards again. It's going to be met by a host of Marauders.
Yeah, we're going into that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And we are kind of certain that's close to where the clock is supposed to be right now. Again, there is no scoreboard in the stadium at this point, so we are doing the best we can. Just basing it off of what we're seeing out there at this point.
I think we'll know when the official calls the end of the quarter, when you see both teams going
right
to the sideline, of course. But until then, DeVan's in the backfield, twins to the top of the screen. Another handoff to Edwards as he bounces off a couple of runners. A couple of would-be tacklers is going to pick up the 1st down.
Showed some really good strength there. Got hit about 5 yards before he actually went down. You can see it here. Nice handoff. Nice hold by the offensive line there. Able to drive a mat truck through it. And handles that first hit from Ramel Barbie. Able to carry him for about another 5 yards, so that sets him up right at the 50-yard line.
So what appears to be 1 minute, 23 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Still, the Shield up 12-0. Marauders have to get a stop as they're coming right across midfield now with DeVan with twins to both sides.
I would guess it's a run.
Now, your guess would be right as Edwards slips down.
So the
drops, a 2-yard run.
The drops do not seem as big there on the tracks. The rain may be letting up a little bit. You can see it here. Gets the snap, hands the ball off. Right guard Poole was not able to get a block, and that's why the Marauders were able to blow that up right with maybe a 1-2 yard gain.
And if the referee is accurate, it looks like both teams are heading to the sideline.
All right, so we were only 28 seconds off on the clock that we can't see. That's not too bad.
So stay tuned right here on Yamo Media for the 4th quarter of the Columbus Marauders and the Tri-State Shield.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air Network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
And we're back for the fourth and final quarter as the van steps back. Whew. Just out of the reach of Ugarda.
That could have been dangerous because you had Harding falling down right off the bat there.
Right. Quarterback seen it, but it was, I think it was like maybe the deer in headlights. You see a receiver that wide open. Got too excited. Wasn't able to get the ball to be completed on that one. It's going to bring up about 3rd and about 7.
Again, just want to shout out the crew one more time for braving the weather. We're doing everything we can to keep the clock as close as we can, going off the referees, signals, and everything like that.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Twins to the bottom of the screen. Ball snapped a little high. Caught quickly.
Was that crossing route? They're hitting that middle. Now the rain is letting up a little bit. They're able to get the ball back in the air.
It was Ochovy coming over the middle.
It's a nice read. It was a high snap, able to bring it down. Hits that crossing route right off the bat. Right in the middle of his Marauders, able to find the hole in that zone and get a nice gain of about 15 to 20 on that play.
It's going to bring up 1st and 10. Edwards in the backfield. It's going to get the handoff. Has a nice size hole. Like it has a nice hole enough for a Shields touchdown.
That hole is something that I could have walked through. There's either a great job by the offensive line. Yeah, great job on the offensive line, pulled out there and found a huge hole, able to bounce it outside. You see number 9, Phoenix, on the floor there. I think he might have slipped, which just opened the door right away for the Shields. The rain has let up quite a bit here, though.
Indeed, it has. It's still coming down, but one thing that hasn't slowed down was the Shields. They seem like they're picking up momentum as we get nearer to the end of the game here. Going to have that Wildcat again.
Estimated to be about 14 minutes left in the game.
Ugarda and Edwards in the backfield. High snap. Ugarda right over the middle of the field.
Interesting pass there.
Tipped off the hands of Eric Pugh.
I'll have to see on the replay that looked like it might have been like a jump pass.
Believe it was intended to be as such.
He get the ball and no, it's just a lefty. In the NFL, that would have been a penalty because he touched him on the head on accident. As we hear more thunder rumbling in the background. So it's 18-0. If you're the coach of the Marauders, what are you telling your team right now?
Finish strong. Continue to play. Let's go out here and see what we can muster up. It hasn't gone our way offensively all game. Before then, the defense had played fairly well. They gave up a few drives. Penalties are pretty much low. But you have to do something to continue to move the ball. You've seen Brandon Phoenix take control of the ball in the backfield in the Wildcat a couple times. You got to get Derek Acosta, see what he can do, and just continue to run the ball with Gordon. But get first downs, and you have to start moving a little quick if you have any hopes of cutting this lead down from 18.
Absolutely. You got to find whatever spark you have. It's got to be ignited right about now. So you got 3-score game. So the coaches are coming on to talk to the team a little bit. And I see the players leaving the field. I'm wondering what's happening.
Don't know if they're calling a game because of weather here.
Some helmets off and some players going to the sideline very slowly. Not sure what we have going on here. Well, once again, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast on Yamo Media. If you go back and look at the videos on YouTube, you can see some of the interviews we did throughout the week. We even have some cars on the track up at the top of the screen. As we wait for official word, looks like the coaches and referees are meeting there at midfield to decide what to do. An 18-point game, 13:54 left in the fourth quarter. They may be calling this game at this point. We've had a few strikes of lightning in the distance, but we're waiting for the official word.
Well, we're not southwestern Ohio, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Ohio. How that affects us here in central Ohio, not for sure how much worse it can get than this. It's actually slowed up a little bit.
All four of the referees are walking off the field, it looks like. And as soon as we get official word, we will let you know. Unofficial confirmation from the players is that is not it. But all four of the referees are walking to the goalpost and. Okay, so again, unofficially from a player, we have it no screamed up to the press box that it is not over. But if we don't have any referees, I think they're consulting the rule book possibly.
If my football coach can get struck by lightning twice and survive, so can you.
You know, obviously, player safety is very important for the players here. An interesting turn of events. The defensive coordinator's walking down. So we have your show coming up soon on Yamo Media. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what to expect on That's Debatable and give us a little history of the show.
Well, That's Debatable. We just had our 40th episode this past Wednesday. We may be moving, once we move over from the Score on Air to Yamo Media, we'll be having our show potentially on Mondays. You can look for it between the hours of 6 and 8. We're still trying to figure out scheduling, but it's myself alongside Ryan Dietrich and Jeremiah Bays. We cover all sports and debate what's going on within that past week and the week coming up. So you can find that coming here real soon on the show is That's Debatable, coming up on Yamo Media.
Okay, so it sounds like the game has been delayed until 3:30. So we are going to take a bit of a break so we can recoup here on the broadcast booth. Stay tuned here. We'll be back here in a little bit on Yamo Media, Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air Network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
My name is Adam Porter. I'm chairman and CEO of the Lance and Aileen Porter Foundation. The Porter Athletic League was established in 2018. It came about because of issues that I've noticed in the community as it relates to the relationship between the youth of the community and the law enforcement, whether you're talking police, highway patrol, county sheriff, or even fire department. There was no real relationship there. We've done it now for 3 years. We didn't get to do it last year due to COVID. In fact, we just finished up our 2021 season, which was a huge success. We're seeing more support from parents, from law enforcement officials, and the community. Up until the time we got involved, if a law enforcement officer came into the community, 9 times out of 10, the kids would just run away. They would either run away or they would just stick around to see exactly what was going on and who was involved. So we've established a good rapport between the residents and law enforcement. As you witnessed this past weekend at our PAL Championship, Sergeant Smith Hughes came and it was like a hero walked into the building. The kids were excited to see him. They went up to him, shook his hand, talked to him, and they realized he's a regular person. And that's the most important takeaway from what we're doing.
One of the coolest parts of my life is learning from Bob McGilligan, getting, especially with commentary, getting to learn the little ins and outs and getting to commentate games with him. It was just some of the coolest experiences of my life.
Broadcasting the ASWA shows gave me the opportunity to experience what it's like and gave me the confidence to start my own business and basically do it myself.
I would say some of my favorite moments in Emphasis were the basketball tournament games. They're just such a different environment to high school basketball, especially in the tournament. You're always playing for love of the game, but you love it a little bit more.
My experience in the Sports Emphasis program was something that was essential to me. We got to do in a live broadcast. We've done it all. We did football, basketball, baseball, and from anything from commentary to behind the scenes to just running the scoreboard. We just did it all. Any kind of value in production you could possibly have, we did it, and that was just so essential to where I'm at now.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air Network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
My name is Adam Porter. I'm chairman and CEO of the Lance and Aileen Porter Foundation. The Porter Athletic League was established in 2018. It came about because of issues that I've noticed in the community as it relates to the relationship between the youth of the community and the law enforcement, whether you're talking police, highway patrol, county sheriff, or even fire department. There was no real relationship there. We've done it now for 3 years. We didn't get to do it last year due to COVID. In fact, we just finished up our 2021 season, which was a huge success. We're seeing more support from parents, from law enforcement officials, and the community. Up until the time we got involved, if a law enforcement officer came into the community, 9 times out of 10, the kids would just run away. They would either run away or they would just stick around to see exactly what was going on and who was involved. So we've established a good rapport between the residents and law enforcement. As you witnessed this past weekend at our PAL Championship, Sergeant Smith Hughes came and it was like a hero walked into the building. The kids were excited to see him. They went up to him, shook his hand, talked to him, and they realized he's a regular person. And that's the most important takeaway from what we're doing.
One of the coolest parts of my life is learning from Bob McGilligan, getting, especially with commentary, getting to learn the little ins and outs and getting to commentate games with him. It was just some of the coolest experiences of my life.
Broadcasting the ASWA shows gave me the opportunity to experience what it's like and gave me the confidence to start my own business and basically do it myself.
I would say some of my favorite moments in Emphasis were
And ladies and gentlemen, we have just found out the game has officially been called. So that will make the final score the Tri-State Shields 18, the Columbus Marauders 0, and the Reign with 21. Will, do you have any final thoughts on the game today?
That was a very entertaining game. Very entertaining game. Both teams came.
Hold on.
More technical issues. There we go. It's a very entertaining game between the Marauders and the Shields. But other than that, it's about time to go, man.
Yeah, the most important thing is the money raised from this goes to help get behind the badge, help families of fallen soldiers. So we want to thank the Columbus Marauders for having us come out and broadcast this game. If you enjoyed this, or if you need any broadcasting yourself, check out yamomedia.com. For Will Ward, I'm Adam Dell signing off. Thanks so much for tuning in.